Oi, what's up? It's Demented again, and today I have for you another review that, again, I've been doing a lot of these recently because they're easy to make, fast, and, maybe not lengthwise, but, ultimately it's something that I can do pretty consistently and that I really enjoy doing. Now, I just got done doing Slime's review yesterday or last night, but I wanted to move on to Faith because Faith is someone who I've known, not really known a lot about for a long time, but Faith is definitely someone who I've looked at in terms of the contender scene, especially in Korea, and I was going to be devastated if Faith went without a team going into this Owl season, and I mean, I'm glad that he ended up being on a team like Uprising that has a lot of promise. But obviously, if you're not familiar, I believe both of these games were 3-0s against Uprising, which means they're going to have to be punching up a bit. But I do believe in them. So the only real things, I guess, that are known for the most part about Faith is his past on WGS, which he had a fair amount of success with, and obviously a couple of other teams in the past, but I don't think there's any one particular character that Faith has been like really a one trick at in any aspect, which has really sat well with me, because when I look at just for example, like if you look at Masa as someone in the main support position, you see them as a Lucio one trick, and that's kind of just not the case with Faith, which I really want to see how well it translates from Korean contenders to the actual Overwatch League stage. And I guess without further ado, let's get into it. But as per usual, before we start talking about the actual gameplay, I will go into my normal preface of I am not typically someone who gives out a lot of compliments. I'm very harsh on the main support role because I think that there is a lot that needs to be done to develop the role. So that's why if you see me in some ways reaching or being a little bit nitpicky about certain things or aspects of the gameplay, that's the whole thing of that. And I specifically wanted to do Uprising versus Glads because a lot of people hold someone like Moth in a very high regard in terms of Lucio play. And what I want to do, let me pull up Epic Pen really quick, but what I'm planning to do throughout going through this is I look at multiple aspects, and one of the aspects that I will be looking at is in terms of the ult charge, and like, that's just kind of a rough thing to go off of in terms of like, after a first fight, how much has Faith been keeping up with the pace of someone by the likes of Moth or someone else. And especially if you watched my last video of Slime, that Slime was horrid at keeping up with people ult wise. But regardless, let me start the lo-fi. Alright, so sit back, let's get into some gameplay. So I do like the positioning of taking space early. That was a nice disrupt on Moth. I really like that high ground denial. A little bit of a waste of amp, but nothing too outstanding yet. It's a little weird positioning wise with like not being with his people. You see that he's staying on heals the whole time, which is really good. Not trying to flip tempo. This is still really good for the most part. I think what what Faith could have done a little bit better was crossfading at the right times, because it looked like the tempo was a little bit shaky in terms of like amping speed. But then as soon as the shatter hits, obviously you want to speed your run to do the damage, but you don't need to be speeding the whole way. And again, we can look at ult charge and see that he's on par with Moth currently. I can really respect Lucio players that use window. I would have preferred to see you drop to alleviate pressure from your Rhine. That's a really good fucking boop onto space. That's huge. Yeah, I really like what I'm seeing so far. But a little bit all over the place in terms of like target focus and everything, but in terms of like keeping up with beat and everything, this is all fine. So there's a lot of ults coming out from Glads. I want to see how he responds to it. But Lucio was definitely someone that I could see that he, not sure about that boop. It didn't really do anything, but, ooh, okay, that's rough. I mean, if you know that they have, like, a lot of ults, which obviously that was, like, that was a fight for, or that had gone on for a while. Like, if there's neutral fight and you think that a shatter is gonna come out, like, just wall ride or be like a little bit around like corners or something to play for beat, because that could have been a really big fight out of Uprising. Good speed on the high noon. And now this is where you can kind of see the crossfading get a little bit more loose in terms of you don't really have to be like 100% on heals as much as you would be during other times. Still hasn't committed a beat when it wasn't needed, which is something that I really like. Which obviously, this is someone who I had a fair amount of not necessarily favoritism towards, but I really like these like, not necessarily counter boops, but like just disrupting Moth when he goes to do stuff. I really like that, because as a Lucio player, that is fucking annoying. If you're going, you know what you want to do, and you get cucked out of it. It's really fucked up. Valentine's forced the wall early. That's unlucky. So this is again what I kind of talk about with the whole neutral time. That's a good tempo setting beat. Looks for a play on the bomb. I like that. Yeah, like the only thing that I'm seeing right now that's kind of a red flag is the more or less the peeling aspect. Lucio Gap. I don't know, man. I was about to be like, there's no way you don't hear that motherfucker. He's the loudest fucking guy ever. So that obviously wasn't a really good, I guess, example of me not being very compliment heavy. But ultimately, so this is where I'm really interested to see numbers wise, especially in terms of like ult charge and stuff, because Moth has been just in general known to not be a good brig. That's a lot of poke damage on your shield for no reason. This is all... Ooh, I would have liked you to play a door a little bit more. So as soon as it comes down to... Obviously getting antied on brig is very scary. So let's kind of take this a little bit step by step. So stickies come out, taking a lot of damage. And then if you're already like hard shielding, just hard shield next to the door. It would be a little bit weird because you're not you don't have a bash or whatever. But my thought process for it is that if you're like, the closer you are to the door, you know when the DPS is coming in or if Monkey's coming in, and basically no one can enter that room without you getting Inspire with relative ease, pretty much. So that's my main thought process behind it, because now you still have not procced Inspire yet. A little bit unnecessary on the bash, but I can see why you would do it. Man, just... Dude, okay. If your shield gets full stickied, just drop it and walk away. Be the bigger person. So, a lot of downtime. So this is a little bit weird. Because... Ooh. Really shaky awareness. So during all this neutral time, something that doesn't really seem to phase Faith that much is where because ultimately, if you're playing Brig, the main thing that's going to like separate yourself from the things you need to counter is like keeping a mark on where Tracer is at all times and where Monkey is. And obviously Monkey is going to be a lot more easy to figure out than the Tracer, but like I'm pretty sure that's why he gets stuck, because he just has no idea where the Tracer is, and then the whole like stuck prompt thing comes literally out of nowhere to him. So that really sucks. But like this is kind of a hard backline Brig, which I'm personally not a fan of. Which typically, you know, obviously Brig healer, you would think they're in the backline, but typically when I think of playing Brig, this is like acceptable because you have all this sightline for flails and stuff, but you can be more of a middleman and try to figure out where everyone is. For instance, if Faith was around here, he could have then like looked around, maybe have caught Birdring over here in this corner before he does this rotation, or just something of that nature realistically. But we didn't get any of that, and like again, I think that flail is the first proc of Inspire that we get, and he's still out farming the Moth. Holy shit. Like, dude, I can that's the best main support right there. That's the best one. Okay, now I'm gonna look a little bit more towards pack usage this time. So what I'm noticing immediately is the leaving one pack, at least unless it's forced. I really like that bash. Yeah, that bash just completely fucked over Custer's ult. Yeah, that was really good. But so okay, before this fight breaks out, there's a couple things, because I like this pack usage in the fact that he's still playing reserved, in terms of there's always one pack that is like in case of emergency. You always have one emergency pack. But at the same time, if you only ever have one pack, then it kind of starts to get not as good. I haven't been keeping too well of a track of if all of these have been like justified packs, but stuck with your team. Oh, that was just wait for with that miss of Inspire. Literally just wait for fucking space to stop flying, or just like you don't have to flick it. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. Ooh. You could have, as soon as you see the Tracer into your blinking run, your team, you can look more to Basher on the recall. I'm looking for dive denial. Ooh, this is aggressive. That's a nice proc. Oof. A little bit low awareness. Okay, couple things. So this bash was super delayed, and I'm trying to figure out why. So really good proc there. Immediately, as soon as you hear the D.Va micros go off and see how close she is, bash her out of him. there's no reason you should take like as much damage as you did. I mean, eventually, obviously, you got this done on bird ring, and that's fine. But it's more important to not take that poke from space to begin with, and then you can get more, and you can be more focused towards rotating out. Excuse me. I just drank milk, so like, I'm kind of like coffee. If that makes sense. Alright, so we get to see the Lucio again. So again, I'm not too sure how the tempo works with Ryan Sig, but I'm pretty sure you just play slower than the other ones, or than the other team. A little bit late on, again, nice disrupt. But, like, there's a couple seconds of, like, brain lag between, well, because realistically, the only reason that you need to amp out here is because you want to, like, shove all of your asses through this door at once. And that's fine. But after you get out there, immediately swap to heals. There's no reason to be on anything else. And there was a little bit of delay there. And you can see it again here. You see the amp get committed. Wall gets broken. Immediately on heals. And then look to... Like, I think a bunch of Lucios also are, like... Obviously, I do like that disruption boop. But there's a lot of times that I think Lucios underrate how easy it is to like give your Ryan a little bit of help and just like boop the Ryan back a tiny bit and just give enough space to where your Ryan has a little bit of breathing room and you guys can heal him back up and you can re-engage. But a lot of people don't do that. Oh, that boop is useless. Oof, unlucky. And the reason I say that boop is useless, it's more that it was like you got nothing from it because you literally helped Muse get closer to stand 1 than you helped more than you hurt, which is fine, but oh, holy fuck. Pardon me, I'm very tired, so... Jesus, Boston just don't look like they know where to go. Look to peel. What the fuck are you shooting at? What the fuck? He still hasn't hit it. I didn't even see the fucking sentry there. I mean, obviously there was a lot of times that heal probably could have been used there as opposed to speed, but... Okay. Uh-oh. Okay, let me watch this. Okay. As soon as a TP comes out and you think that it's going to be like used in your general area, it is fucking scary. Like, you more than like this is a really good boop out onto bird ring, but and I'm trying to think about like the damage numbers specifically, and I don't know if you were to boop melee if that would kill all the turrets, but that could be something to look at because that was bad, especially because you died with beat as the other team's beating and they still had point control. So Not having anything to set your tempo with was really ass, but you have beat. This is fine. A little rough on the beat in my eyes. That's fine though. That was just like unclean wall riding, I think. I mean, this is a fine stall fight. Okay. Good at peppering, not committing. Yeah, just focus on speeding people back. There's no reason to poke there. What? Wasn't even speeding the fucking Baptiste back. Okay. Oh, I don't know how Myungmong gets picked. Pain. Oh, I accidentally clicked. This is all fine for now. See, like this is what I talk about with like a little bit on late peeling. But then like again, I clown Moth a lot, but like that was a really good peel from Moth. But if you're looking at this from like face thing, you are a couple steps behind on like, why did Myungmong die? You know, could you have stopped that kind of shit? Right now, you should be playing for a really long fight. This was all just like positioning wise. I think this was really poor. A really poor choice because I think he was positioned to like disrupt Moth or some shit, but your people need you, man. Like, it was mid-fight, there's one person, no people in your aura. As a flux is coming out, there's 2 people in your aura, and 2 people died to the fucking flux. Again, that's a really bad boop. Like, even though that it's sometimes very difficult to get around your own Reinhardt, and then in turn push away everyone that's like opposing him. Pushing people into him doesn't help his situation. It might like throw off the team that you're playing against, but not for very long, especially in an overtime fight. But overall, I'm seeing a lot of highlights here. A couple smudges on the brig. If I were to be say anything, fine, dude. Okay, I'm gonna go on a little bit of a fucking rant in between games because I don't know why everyone's bitching about skewed. Because honestly, like, if you would have seen like Moth's brig, you would know how horrendous it is. If you know anything about the fucking character, you would know how terrible Moth's brig is, and having like, it's honestly completely justified that they were like, hey, Moth is shit at both BAP and brig, and we might need those in the future. So let's pick up another one. So I'm gonna be looking, excuse me, a little bit for dive denial. This is a really good positioning to do that dive denial. What are you doing? Okay. Why? Why? Like, it's fine for you to like, what purpose does it give you to peek this? It doesn't make any sense to me. But I do like literally you're positioned on here. The entire point of being positioned up here with this specific comp is because of how hard it is for a monkey to jump and get it off successfully with a brig here. If that brig is now for some reason trying to, like, I guess scout what Punk should already be scouting, there's now no value that you're getting from playing the way you are. So let's look at, like, when does Bubble even come out? Muse didn't even get bubbled, so that was a very bad play. Just like remember what you're supposed to be playing, and that ultimately leads to them losing first, I'm assuming. This is horrible, actually. What the fuck? Pain. I still believe though. Okay, wait, were you just hard peeking a fucking Ana, watched her nade and fucking ate that shit? Yup. Pain. It is what it is. This is an okay contest. Again, where is the, like, I'll look back again, but where's the fucking dive denial? Like, it's so, your main purpose, a brig can single-handedly go on Gibraltar and grab Gibraltar by the balls and control its every fucking, like, brig can take control of the game on Gibraltar, but on no other map can she really do that. But if you don't deny the dives, that's a fine combo because you're playing to flail her away, or flail him away. Oof, a little unlucky. They just invested ults, so is what it is. Alright, so Muse shouldn't be able to get a... Okay, good flail, but if Muse gets another dive off, I am going to be fuming. Never double packet tracer. Unless she's literally like 1 HP and then is also re-engaging and asking for it. Getting a lot of fucking downtime. The flail denials really gotta be faster. Oof. That was... Wait, what the fuck? No, you can stay up there in 1v1 mirror. Mirror's not good enough to stop you. What? So I started having... like right here, you've dropped for it. I mean, you've got your 2 ticks of Inspire, so this is fine. There's nothing bad about this, but I feel like you could have done more and kind of harassed Mirror a little bit. But overall, I mean, dude, I really want to see. Like, is this an unheard of thing in Owl to like flail a dive and like just deny the dive in general? Okay, there, tried there, but this is okay. This is part of the matchup though, because if you start flailing on very first point, the same setup that we were talking about, how here's a really good position, like Monkey's gonna stage either over here, or if Cart gets like around the other side, might stage from over here ish. Like ultimately, he's gotta jump to you. So you, being the fucking bright center of attention, you are then allowed to literally have a free first section of the map to play Flail Kovacs and not only feel out how the monkey jumps, how aggressive they are, but you also get to figure out the bubble timing, because like there's gonna be Zaryas that bubble really early, and then bubbles that like will bubble as the monkey lands. There's some that like will bubble mid jump, which is like a little unfortunate for you, but you can play around that if you get the timing down. But if you aren't playing to like deny the dive at all, it's really gonna hurt. Really, really, really gonna hurt. And really gonna be hard to adjust. Let's see, like, feeling it out, hopefully, where eventually we should be able to just start waiting out the bubbles and knowing when the timing is gonna come out. Monkey's no jump. That's a fine combo. It's a little aggressive, but Jesus, what the fuck? You're trying to 2v1 and you can't do that. Fucking commit to one of them or make one fuck off. Which Kevster fucked off and then fucked you. Alright. After 2 maps of Flail Kovacs, let's see if we can deny a dive. Or are we taking high ground or what? Whoa, what's good? That's a fine grab and shit. Still has not ticked Inspire. Still has not ticked Inspire. There it is. Better late than never, but that was really bad. Like, Inspire did not get procced until they were like a meter away from capping, which is just difficult. Okay. So overall, there's a lot of spots starting to come out on the brig, but I still think the Lucio overall is really good. And I think if I remember right, the Mercy was also pretty okay. But brig is not not doing it for me right now. Oh god, don't tell me you're dead. That was close. Okay, why was this close? Because this has no reason to be close. Alright, so this is a fine rotation. First off, you're crossing into the room of death, but if you're moving in, you have Brig, Kree, and Zarya. So now you have you have 3 characters, all of which have means and like kind of cushions to get themselves out of dog shit situations. So as soon as you proc that Inspire, that was a horrible bash. Objectively, that was a horrible bash. Because now you have, holy fuck, Shu is 70 to fucking nano. While fucking Muse is 17 to primal. Okay, let me try to think of all this, because you always want to save your bash because you don't want to get yourself trapped in a bad situation. And after you get that Inspire, you've done your job. As soon as you get that Inspire up, that's your shit. That's all you do. Now you can stay and keep swinging and being a greedy bitch and probably get yourself killed. But the only reason that Faith comes close to dying is because of how poorly the cooldowns are used. In that Bash was used aggressively when odds are if they're gonna walk you up, you don't have to stun. You flail them away first, and then if they're really inting onto you, you either A, bash away, or B, like bash them while they're in you / in your team. But overall, they get the picks they need. Why the fuck was Skewed still up there? Skewed is also someone who I might want to watch. Please take high ground. Wait, why? Oh, we are so pussy. Alright, this is fine. These guys just don't know where they want to go. That was a fine bash. Oh my god, what the fuck is happening? What a fucking... Okay, I don't know what the fuck just happened in this backline, but okay. Sandman with the double pack, that's a fine pack. If you want to keep fighting, you have to use rally. Or see if Punk wants to protect you. You hear the Tracer. Say you could use some healing, please. Might make him actually know. Okay, yeah. Oh god, you've just been drained of packs this whole time. Oh my god, packing off cooldown. So pack usage is really inconsistent. Because like if you're taking poke for nano, that's fine. But like actually just poke for nano. Don't be like constantly packing. After a certain threshold, like limit yourself and be like, yo, I have to hold packs or else like I'm never gonna have any fucking packs. That was a style whip for no reason. Again, aggressive bash for no reason. Tracer has not been marked very well by Faith at the same time. Don't play in bubble. Dude, Shu Lucio, bottom text. But ultimately, you win over time. So bum rushing a fucking Winston isn't gonna do anything unless people were just telling him to get the fuck out and reset. But that would have been so fucking good for them if they held that space. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking about it too dumbly. That was a noon. Oh, imagine if you would be better with pack usage. Holy fuck! I'll start trying to look at it more and see why packs are like constantly just non-existent. Yeah, I mean, even the like Inspire uptime is just really inconsistent. Yep, just little ticks, little ticks. You don't have to bum rush. But I mean, it's an overtime stall, so Brig is obviously just gonna dominate those. But it's like, just be patient. You get so much more value over time, as opposed to trying to like bull rush the fuck out of people in hopes that you get like instant value. Why the fuck does it say I'm dropping frames again? Pain. Oh god. Here we go. Alright, that's fine. I'm pretty sure it was meant for the monkey, but it is what it is. Please get held here. Okay, they do. Thank God. So they have pre-fight Inspire. Look for it. Oh my god, you got blown up. Holy shit. That was crazy. Alright, I guess that was just unlucky. So last fight, you have rally advantage. Unless you get one-shotted again. Oh, but they have pulse. Is that where this goes wrong? Because unless Kevster hits a nasty pulse, there's no reason Uprising shouldn't win this. Yep, there's one for Kevster. Yeah, really sloppy dive denial. I just really staggered. You have to rally. Yeah. If your spawn's getting pushed like that, your only hope is to rally and switch tempo literally as this is like as you're getting out the door or as they're funneling into you. But I mean, that was bad on like everyone's part as well. Wasn't just a one person thing. So okay, and Hanamura, I feel like this is a lot more of a lax VOD and very much a more of a low effort VOD than previously, which I'm a fan of, because like, man, doing, oh man, I got angry over that slime fucking VOD, but this has been pretty decent. So Mercy, from what I could tell, was and I talked about this when or in Slime's review of pocketing Ashe pre or in between fights and pocketing your Echo mostly during fights, but Echo's a just a good all-around pocket pick. So what I really like here, which is something that I brought up yesterday, was there's multiple ways that if Faith were to get focused out by some means, he has multiple ways out, as opposed to just the like only having the person that he's tethered to. I'm a little confused at what he's like looking at. This res is fine. What the fuck was that? That was some weird shit. So they just get snowballed here, I'm pretty sure. At least that's what it would seem like. That's a really good super jump. Yeah, I'm a fan of the movement. So we're nearing Velk. Almost fucking immediately just, I don't know, closer to Velk than Moth. I don't know, man. Like, I'll save my comments. Oof, they still got poked out actually. I mean, after the Valk, the positioning was really bad, especially because immediately was still getting, or starting to get poked out by Bob. I would have probably preferred Faith to stay on high ground, and then okay, on brig now. With Bob forcing point, holy fuck. Those are good touches, but ultimately wasn't gonna work. So what I was going to say is that, like, obviously this isn't the like cleanest, most like polished Lucio gameplay, polished Mercy gameplay. But what I want to understand is other people's thought process in saying statements such as Moth is the best main support. Because if I'm going off the way people are judging Moth, Faith should be up there then, if we're only going off Mercy and Lucio. Because the Mercy has been really good, and so has the Lucio. But and again, obviously I'm not saying he's as good as Moth's Mercy and Lucio, but hey man, that's the way I see it. And plus, on top of that, you have someone who's been able to match Moth on Lucio and Mercy, and plays brig. Isn't like anything special, but plays it. So I think this is just ball to scout. Scouting that they're on brawl. They swap. Damn, this is a quick map. Oof. A little bad on the crossfade. I don't know why it would stay in choke, but okay. Getting good angles for poking. Even though that's not the biggest thing. Yeah, like, see how much more, like, obviously the displacement boops are good on Moth. I mean, from Faith onto Moth. But, geez, man. Like, let me just go back and show, even though we don't know how this fight plays out, I want to see how much more value Moth got out of Boop. This was... Because ultimately on Ryan Sig you want to play more for space, I believe. So having Lucio that boops, you know, 2 or 3 people forward as opposed to just playing to boop the other Lucio out of position, because that's not a consistent thing. It's not consistent to be like, I want to only disrupt their Lucio to stop him from making plays. Because sometimes you'll, like, your team is going to need people that need to make plays. Well, that was a really nice catch. Ooh, but they win the trade. So now you better stay on heels the whole time. Looks like he will. Really nice peel boop there. Aggressive beat. This is fine. That was almost a nice boot. I don't exactly... Okay. I don't exactly like how scrappy that was, but like the boop that came out on Amuse was okay. It could have been better. And actually displaced him, or he even like took a step back, I think, when he went for the charge, so he probably could have even got him off the map if you really wanted. But some of these displacements, it's not really displacing that much, realistically. Ooh, almost good displacement. See what you were trying to do. Ooh. The overextension. So let's see where the overextension happened. Because you got killed by a Ryan swing of all things. So I don't even know how the high noon gets stopped. Okay, so it's your high noon. Yeah, just really weird with tempo. It seemed like immediately as soon as the other team beats in any way that could be even considered aggressive, you immediately have to start backing and give space. Because as soon as you like give that space, like every like second that they're taking space, they're losing value on the beat. But no, I feel like this is such basic shit though. You hear him? Could have honestly probably just stayed where he was, but it is what it is. Let me... Don't really see too much. The crossfading going back and forth now is a little sad. Because right now you would really want to see your Lucio have built beat off that. I think it's also worth mentioning that I think Moth lapped him in beat. I could be wrong in that. That was a nice dodge of the shatter. Even though it didn't hit, it was still nice to see it. It was like a nice adaptation. What a weird fucking window. Probably could have waited a little bit on the counter beat. And the reason I say that is... Okay. So as soon as this beat goes off, you expect everyone on their team to go like ballistically hard. If not, like have their backline be playing up to spam. So right now, they're just trying to make sure that the fucking Doom doesn't die. First off, what the fuck was that from the top ropes? Or was that? Am I delusional? Okay, I thought Moth jumped all the way fucking down to get the beat. But ultimately, there are two people on the low ground. You have a Lucio and a Ryan on the low ground. No one else is pressuring you, and you have a window. They have to make something happen with this beat or else they lose. You, being Uprising, can literally just wait it out, wait for the engagement to be over or for them to be in the middle of their engage and then counter beat, as opposed to just mirroring it on the spot, because then like it's like a Mexican standoff when it really shouldn't be, because neither team wants to engage on the other while like beat's there. But if you would have saved it, you would have been able to have beat for right, you know, right now, where you would have been able to beat the freeze engagement that they did. Just hard push left side. Really nice, really nice. That was a really good boop out of Immortality. Shu still just getting clapped. Unfathomably clapped. Tried to look for a little play on the bomb, I see that. Trying to keep people on low ground. A little late on the peel once again. So that seems to be the only like consistent issue with the Lucio, is the lack of peel. Damn. Killed Punk with the remake. What a shame. Interesting. Well, if I'm ranking all these, I will rank probably Lucio, because I mean this is also recency bias, because I just now saw the Lucio again, but Lucio, Mercy, and then Brig. So what did I see in each individual thing? As I said, there were like not a lot of real inconsistencies with the Lucio, besides the like I didn't like the way Boop was being used in terms of having it be used to only specifically counter Moth. I didn't think that that was very strong or effective. Like you know, there were a couple shaky amps here and there, but that's, I mean, just consistency. I also just realized I spelled Mercy wrong. There we go. But overall, the Lucio was pretty solid. But the main thing was the lack of peels. That's definitely something that I would like to see step up. Mercy though, I guess this also bleeds over into Mercy, which, like, it's kind of just a positioning thing in terms of like if you're positioning yourself to peel very well or whatever. And then the Brig, we saw a whole bunch of fucking holes in. Holy shit, we saw a whole bunch of stuff from like I mean the likes of like poor pack usage at times to really good pack usage at times, just all around the board inconsistency. But it's better than Moths, so it could be worse. Because I definitely think that the Brig like had really good moments of like really having a good grasp of the character and knowing what you needed to do, and then other times where he just went fucking batshit insane. But anyways, with that all being said, I would rate Faith a pretty middle tier in terms of how I oversee main sports in general right now. I think he is someone who's probably going to put a lot of work in. I'm hoping to see a lot of improvement throughout the season, and if I do, I will revisit him. But with that all being said, I want to thank you all for watching so much. If you got to this point in the video, remember, I appreciate the fuck out of you. Follow me on Twitter so you can know whenever I upload these. I still have a couple more planned on the way. I'm still trying to get these out at the same time pretty much every day, but I can say in the future, expect me to let up a little bit, because I'm gonna be doing stuff with Open Division soon. Like overall, I'm just gonna be competing a little bit and doing a bunch of stuff with my team. So I can't 100% guarantee all time for videos, so I might start switching to like every other day. I'll figure out what works for me. Anyways, I love the fuck out of all of you. And with that being said, remember to follow me on Twitter for whenever I upload. And as always, I will see you when I see you. Later.